What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Unhinged Talk. As usual, I'm your host, Patrick Hennessy, joined tonight by the man, hashtag Shut Up Brandon Kramer. How we doing tonight?
Great. Day 2, we had our first official workouts. We actually got some content today, so it's great. Baseball's back.
Yeah. But before we do start with our topic tonight, everyone, you guys know the drill. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe, turn on post notifications. I know YouTube doesn't really send out post notifications a bunch. That's why you got to make sure you hit that bell. So hit the bell, like, comment, subscribe. Appreciate all you guys. But today I do want to talk about, there's an issue in the Yankees clubhouse already. We couldn't go through a week of spring training. We couldn't even go through 2 days of spring training without there being some sort of an issue. I want to tread on this water fairly lightly because it is a kind of a serious situation, and that's involving Domingo Germán. And now Zack Britton has kind of unwillingly inserted himself into the situation too due to the media. But yeah, let me just touch on the whole thing really quick. Domingo Germán, we all know last season, 2019 actually, he was suspended for I believe 60 games for a domestic violence
80 something, but he only something like that. It was a decent amount of games.
It was a solid amount of games for a domestic violence incident. Out all the 2020 season, obviously. And then he had some stuff going on social media. I'm not too sure the specifics of it, but there was a lot of eerie social media posts, I guess, where he was addressing like retirement and then coming out of retirement, just stuff like that. And then going into the season, hopes were kind of high within the Yankees organization for Domingo Germán. I know there were times where Brian Cashman even said he's a number 2 starter at worst. So they were clearly very high on him coming into spring. And Domingo Germán, he shows up for spring training yesterday. Not yesterday. It was on Monday. Tuesday? One day early on in the week. And then there were some more eerie social media posts. I believe it has to do with his wife, girlfriend, significant other.
Who knows what it
because
was.
I believe like 20 minutes after those posts, he followed it up with a post of like him and Aaron Boone saying he's ready for the season. It just a lot of stuff going on with Domingo Germán. And that means yesterday, Zack Britton was asked in a press conference about kind of the Domingo Germán situation as a whole. And I'll give a little quote of what his response was. And it was an 81-game suspension, by the way. He said, "That's a tough question. I don't think he owes anything to me. I think it's off the field stuff that he needs to take care of. Sometimes you don't get to control who your teammates are. That's the situation." So Brandon, do you want to kind of interpret those comments to see like what you take it as?
I actually really like those comments because a lot of people, what he did, we all know what he did was really bad. Should never do that.
Yeah, terrible.
And while yes, Brian Cashman, Aaron Boone, and Carlos Mendoza all went out and talked to him, that does not change the fact. Like, they might be able to separate him as a player and what he can contribute to the team, but there are going to be some players that are not going to be able to overlook what he did as a person. And Zack Britton is one of those. And those things need to be said. It's just like a general life lesson. You're not always going to be around people or work with people that you like, but you just have to deal with them because you know that they're trying to achieve the same thing. And I mean, some people could say, yeah, it could cause a little bit of issues in the clubhouse, but I believe these were just, he was asked publicly about it. I believe if you go back with the Chapman situation, stuff would have been the same as well. There are just going to be some people that are going to publicly say it, and other people are just going to keep their opinions to themselves. But I would not be, I think it's almost safe to say that most of the Yankee clubhouse members are, and probably even the front office are like, yeah, we're going to separate the personal stuff to the on the field stuff. But if you think to the personal stuff, I mean, even Hal went out and said that was disgusting, and he had to talk to his family about it.
Yeah, I mean, it's just a really tricky situation, especially because, personally, I wouldn't really bring back Domingo Germán if I were the Yankees. It's not like he's such a key part of this team where if they didn't bring him back, it would be a significant loss. But we're in the situation where they have decided to bring him back, right? And we even saw Aaron Boone kind of comment on the situation as well. He said Domingo Germán is going to be welcome back to the clubhouse. I know we spoke about this earlier, and I found this comment kind of confusing in a way because you have the manager of the team saying that he's being welcomed back and that there's going to be like no distractions involved with anything here. And then the following day, your key reliever in Zack Britton, and we consider one of the leaders of the clubhouse, right? I believe he's the Yankees rep for something.
He's the Yankees rep for the Players Association.
Yeah, so he clearly has a big voice in that clubhouse, and he's coming out and saying that you don't get to choose who your teammates are, which is kind of him saying that, no, I don't agree with Domingo Germán being here, but I don't really have anything to say about. I don't have any say in the situation. So I think it's tough when your manager's saying he's being welcomed back, but the players are kind of saying something different, and it's creating this storyline very early in spring.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't look too into it because I believe with what Boone's doing is he's not going to be able to speak for every single player. I do believe deep down Boone did not. Any decent human being does not agree with what Domingo Germán did. I just think he was saying that just to be like, hey, you're not going to go out and say, yeah, he's not welcome back, just to create an environment. Now, he may be welcome back as a player, and I think that's what it is. He's welcome back as a player, separating all the personal stuff, but I don't think he might not be welcomed back as a person. He's really going to have to show to his teammates that he is a changed man. And until then, I don't believe that there are going to be people that are going to support him in that clubhouse. He's their teammate, just like with the Astros and Roberto Ozuna. He's their teammate. But at the end of the day, you're not going to agree with what he did as a person. I just think with what Britton is saying, he was just asked the question. A lot of people don't really ask a question like that because it can cause controversy. So what Boone said was fine. Every single manager, no matter what, like there are going to be people that are going to turn what Boone said into a bad thing. Every single manager would have said the same thing.
Sure.
It's just when the reporters double up and start asking players is when you're like if Britton went out and said something opposite, then you start let's say he said, yeah, he's done his time, he can come back. Then you're like, then you could start getting on Britton as a person. It just creates this whole fiasco.
Yeah, I mean, Brandon, I'm going to be honest though. This, like just how we mentioned, the media asking all these questions, this is a main reason why I didn't think Domingo Germán should come back in the first place. We're talking about a Yankees team where their goal is to win the World Series this year. And now they're being hit with questions early on in spring training about one of their teammates who has been caught up in a domestic violence situation. This is not what you want your players to have to be discussing and dealing with very early on in spring training. And I'm just hoping that all this can just get over with very early on, and then we could just move forward and all this stuff can just be laid to rest. And like the players outside of Domingo Germán don't have to deal with the situation because it's kind of unfair because now Zack Britton is kind of having to deal with it on social media as well. I'll read this tweet.
Himself, rightfully so.
Yeah, and it's kind of it's brutal that he even has to put himself in a situation where he has to defend himself. But he replied to someone who kind of said, "Why the hell are you worrying about Domingo Germán?" And Britton said, "Hi, you think I don't know the circumstances? Get a clue, bud." Was asked the question, by the way, gave my answer. Don't care if you were sensitive to it. So I think that the bottom line of this whole situation is really Zack Britton is standing up as a voice in the Yankees clubhouse. And I think he's speaking on behalf of everyone in saying that we don't necessarily approve of Domingo Germán as a person, like no one should. But at the end of the day, he's our teammate, and there's nothing that any of us could do about it. So we're going to go out there and play with him because we don't have any other choice. That's what he's saying. And listen, I just hope that this situation doesn't get any more rocky as the season goes on. I hope Domingo Germán can get some help because clearly the dude's going through like serious stuff. So yeah, that's really going to wrap things up for today. Unfortunately, we had to talk about somewhat of a serious situation today rather than just regular spring training news. But listen, hope you guys enjoy the content. Be sure, again, like, comment, subscribe, hit that post notification bell. Appreciate you all. Like I said all the time, we do daily live streams at 9 p.m. every night Eastern time, and we have daily uploads at 12 p.m. Eastern time. We'll see you guys next time. Stay happy, stay healthy, stay safe. Peace.